Good morning, folks. Welcome in on High Button Sports, U13 AA Northern Conference Tournament Playoff action between the Cumberland Ramblers and the Antigonish Bulldogs. These two finished 2-3 in the four-team league in the Northern Conference. They'll play each other starting tonight. Pictou County defeated Truro 5-3 to start off the day here at the Rec. So all teams will play each other once, and then the top two teams will play in the final tomorrow afternoon at 4. Ramblers will skate it ahead. Long pass ahead, but it's picked up by Antigonish. Ahead Turner, trying to find his skates. He's met by LeBlanc. On the second chance, Donovan. She'll fire it right back in. Behind the goal. Davis turned over. Sent in behind the goal. Dunlap was looking for it, couldn't find it. Now back the other way. Come the Ramblers. It's O'Coin trying to work his way in. He lost it to Donovan. She'll once again fire it over to the far side. Flipped up and ahead by the Ramblers. Donovan will be first on it. She was knocked down, but the Bulldogs will pick it back up through center. Here's Wilmot trying to weave his way to the middle. Turned back over. Collins will fire it in deep, and the Ramblers will give chase. Around the wall, picked up by Brown of Antigonish to the line. Card will keep it in. See, comes in off the line. His shot was blocked by one of the Bulldog defenders. Spinning and firing was Clark. Brown will pick it up for Antigonish and stop up behind the goal. Fire it up the wall. Carr will pick it up. Weave ahead. Lone man in. He's knocked off stride. Scopey got his stick in between his man. It's going to be a penalty against the Ramblers. Antigonish will get the first power play of the game. Just 2:10 in. For the Bulldogs, they finished the regular season in second with a record of 10-9-5. Cumberland just behind them with a record of 10-12-2. Is Cumberland able to get the puck? Cowles in on the attack, almost split through both defenders and ended up with a short-handed breakaway. McKinnon behind his own net, being watched by Cox. Armstrong will fire it up the side. It's cleared back in, but it hit a player in the Antigonish bench. So it'll be a whistle here with just 26 seconds gone in the penalty to number 9 of the Ramblers, Caleb Scopey. Donovan will come in on the draw and wins it against Cox. Turner will fire it in, but it was right on the stick of the Rambler defender, Jury, who fired it in deep. Cowles forechecking hard on the penalty kill. Donovan will pull it free. Fired it ahead. Jury, good pinch up off the line. Shot was blocked. Comes out to Cowles. Shot save made by the starting goaltender, number 1, Rennie Van Oorschot. Donovan, she'll skate it ahead herself. Cuts wide. Donovan stays with it. Shot missed wide on the glove side. Starting goaltender for the Ramblers, also number 1, Lincoln Hanna. Penalty upcoming now against Antigonish. Interference call against number 9, Edgar Wilmot. We'll play 4-on-4 for 47 seconds. The face-off will come deep in the Antigonish zone. Brown fired it ahead, lost it. It's picked up, rimmed around by Julia Cleary. Had McDonald, nice one-touch to the middle and a one-on-one the other way. Brown, Cleary is going to follow. Brown waits, wraps it around in front. Cleary there as well. Couldn't get it through. Back the other way. Poked off the stick of O'Coin. It's a delayed offside on the play as O'Coin didn't tag up. We'll play 4-on-4 for another 10 seconds before Cumberland County will get an abbreviated power play. Face-off will come just outside of the Rambler blue line. Tie up off the dry, Antigonish wins it. McKinnon. Ahead. McIsaac. Try to poke it free. McKinnon will try to fire it the rest of the way. Picked off by LeBlanc. He'll work one-on-one. LeBlanc in. Nice toe drag move. LeBlanc stays with it. Tried to pass it out front. Good stick by McKinnon. Ramblers now on a power play. Passed off. Shot comes in. Blocked by McKinnon. Fired around the wall. Clark will find it. He battles with Carr. Settled down by the Bulldogs, and they'll clear it down the ice with 40 seconds left in the penalty to Wilmot. Here's Hunter O'Coin. 2 O'Coins on this team. Hunter, number 55. Damien, number 63. Here's Cox. Try to fire it towards the goal. That missed. It's picked up and sent out to center by Denver Dort. Ramblers unable to get anything going as Antigonish will clear it down. 10 seconds left. Lafort looking to be first on it as he meets Hunter O'Coin. Sent ahead, cleared away though. Delory will pick it up for Antigonish as we're back to 5 aside. Passed ahead, Dort will fire it. Card will rim it around. The passing attempt was blocked. And 2 Ramblers run into each other. That gives an opening. Shot comes in. Good save made by Hanna. As Dunlap was able to take advantage of that. Malcolm Dunlap, after the 2 Ramblers ran into each other, able to pull it free, get a partial break out of it, but Lincoln Hanna stands tall and makes a save and keep this game scoreless. Collins up the wall. The Ramblers will pick it up. Long pass ahead, missed its mark. Turner send it back in, but it's chopped away by Carr. Donovan trying to pick that off. Scott finds it in a pair of skates and will send it ahead. Here's Damien O'Coin. Will drive wide, dropping the shoulder. Stays with it. Damien O'Coin steps out from behind the net. Save made by Van Oorschot. Referee lost sight, so it'll be whistled down. Face off to the left of Van Oorschot. Scott able to win that. Damien O'Coin. Centering pass. Doesn't hit its target. Sent out to the line. Card will keep it in. Shot was blocked. Puck continues to roll. O'Coin shot. That'll pinball way up in the air. Popped over the net. As they battle up the wall. Scott trying to find it. Turner will chip it ahead, and he'll try to work his way past. Good defensive play there by Collins. Damien O'Coin hard in on the forecheck, able to strip a Bulldog once, and now again. Sent ahead. Dunlap too far for him. Here's Davis. Going to pass it ahead. Armstrong, D pass to Wilmot. Chipped up the boards. McDonald will give chase. LeBlanc to the corner to Davis. Clark. Pass it up ahead. Trying to weave through his Payne. Overskated. Now Clark has a step if he hurries. Clark in. Shot fanned on, but Van Oerschaut able to make the save. LeBlanc in off the line. Deflected high and wide by Payne. Up the boards. Carr will float it ahead. Payne will keep it in. Throw it down deep. Scopey will give chase. Comes out. It's just fired down the length of the ice by the Bulldogs to relieve some pressure. Will be an icing call with 6:50 to go here in the first. After this one, there'll be a little break in action, and then Truro will play Cumberland at 3. And then right after that, Pictou County will play Antigonish to conclude day 1. And tomorrow it will be Truro and Antigonish and Pictou and Cumberland, and then the top 2 seeds in the round robin will play each other in the final tomorrow afternoon. Kaiser sends it ahead. Dort will give chase. Denver Dort tries to catch up to it. Fire one towards the goal. It was deflected. Amherst will send it back out to center. Cumberland, Cowles. In, now picked up by Antigonish. They'll send it ahead. Chipped ahead by Dort. Behind the goal, sent up through the middle, but turned over on the stick of Lafort. So Lafort will drop the shoulder. Good play. Lafort tries to get to the middle. Another nice move. Lafort in. Good save by Hanna. Rebound hopped over his stick. In front. Another point-blank save from Lincoln Hanna. The Ramblers finally able to relieve the pressure themselves. And it'll be an icing call now against the Ramblers. Some great work there from number 16 on Antigonish, Ben Lafort. He was able to work his way out from the corner. Made a nice toe drag move. And then fired one on goal. And around the wall, turned over, Dunlap in front. Donovan trying to settle it down. She couldn't get the shot through. Donovan will float it back down low. Comes to the line. McKinnon will keep it in, but it's turned over. Up the wall, back the other way if he hurries. Linkletter. Boxed out by Donovan. Ahead, Ramblers keep it in momentarily. Pass across. Donovan. Try to chip it ahead. It's caught in some feet as they battle in front of the Antigonish bench. D-to-D pass. Pass ahead, Dunlap. It's by Linkletter. We'll try to work by Collins now. Dunlap trying to go up the wall. Does Wilmot from the point. Deflected. Save made by Hanna. Rebounds there. Lincoln Hanna has it. Another great save by the Cumberland netminder. And he's had a couple. Good tip in front, but Hanna stays with it. He's able to find the rebound and cover up. Face-off will come to the left of the Rambler netminder. Carr had his stick knocked out of his hands. It's going to be a penalty against LeBlanc for slashing. Antigonish will go to the power play. Cohen LeBlanc will go off. Four and a half left to go here in this first period. The Bulldogs go on the power play. Antigonish into the middle. Brown tried to shoot. Couldn't get it through. Delory will fire it. Go down in the corner. Antigonish has a good stick from Jury. get it out, and it'll be cleared by Hunter O'Coin. Van Orr's shot will leave it for Delory. Rimmed around the wall to Brown. Brown, peel back in his own end. Weaves by one. Payne trying to keep pace. Brown moves to the middle. Good stick from O'Coin. Wilmot lost it, and Jace Payne will send it down the ice. Good kill so far from the Ramblers. Pass ahead, McIsaac. Through the middle. Wilmot. He's in. Wilmot weaves wide, but just lost the handle on it. Jury will fire it down the ice. Long pass ahead by Cleary. Dort ahead for McIsaac. Will give chase as it rolls in on goal. Hanna will take no chances and will cover up. With 43 seconds left in the penalty to Cohen LeBlanc. 3:10 left here in the first period. Fired down the length of the ice by Cox off the draw. Bulldogs will send it ahead. Lafort in the middle. McIsaac couldn't handle it cleanly. Cox up the wall, but turned over to Lafort. Work inside. Shot comes in. Save made by Hanna. Dort will fire one behind the goal. 10 seconds left in the penalty. Back to the point. McKinnon from the point. Save made by Hanna. Now back to 5-a-side. Armstrong will pinch in off the line. Back to 5-on-5 here. Dort chip it out. Picked off and sent down the ice by the Ramblers. There'll be an icing call. Just over 2 minutes to play here in the first. Still awaiting the game's first goal. Face off to the left of Hanna. Donovan will come in to take the draw against Cox. Hunter O'Coin sends it ahead. Hopped over a stick. Picked up by McManaman. Will try to weave to the middle. Armstrong ahead. Dunlap through the middle to Turner. Hopped on him. Comes out to center. McKinnon will go all the way back behind his own net. Up the wall, Turner. Try to tip it out to center. Does. Jury will fire it back in. Delayed offside on the play, so the Ramblers will have to tag up. Linkletter gets over the zone. Lost an edge, but he'll stay with it and chip it ahead for Scott. Battle for it. Comes free. Jury pokes it ahead. Here's Jury. In, drives wide. Jury shoots off the post. Rebounds there. They couldn't settle it down. Another shot comes in. Kick save by Van Orr's shot. And she has it and will cover up. This Jury nearly opened the score. He fired one off the post. Scott will come in to take the draw against Brown. Scott wins it. So we come to the last minute to play here in the first. Sent back in deep by the Ramblers. Delayed offside on the play. They hadn't fully tagged up. O'Coin jumped the gun a couple of times, a little too overzealous. He jumped once and then tagged back up, and then jumped again before his line mate on the other side had tagged up. Coin will get it into the zone. Last minute of play now in the period. Bulldogs will skate it up as it's dumped in deep. Ramblers pick it up. Down the wall, that's Scopey. He's able to get it as far as the Bulldog line. Pass through the middle, pinballs off a couple sticks. Collins will send it in deep. 20 seconds left, one last rush up ice for the Bulldogs if they can manage. Lost in some skates. Pulled free by Payne, but he loses it. And it's chipped out by LaForte. He'll give chase. He has a step if he can hurry, but Davis, good stick. It's fired in. That'll do it. For period number 1. Shot 6-5 in favor of the Bulldogs. But we are still awaiting the game's first goal. We'll be back momentarily for the start of the second. Back and ready for period number 2. Both teams all even through 15 minutes of play. Still looking for the game's first goal. Here's Jace Payne. Will drive wide on Cleary. Payne has a step down the left side. Shot is deflected wide. Back turned over ahead. Dort will give chase, but it's swatted away by Davis. Ramblers will have to tag up as Cleary will pick it up and send it out. Blom will take a peek behind him. He has to hurry. Good turnover in front. Save made by Hanna. He's coming in with some major speed there was Colin McIsaac. He beat the defenseman to it. Kind of just poked it towards the net, but Hanna was able to make the save. So McIsaac went crashing beside. Face-off will stay in Cumberland County zone. Back to the point. Armstrong couldn't keep it in. McManaman tries to kick it up to his skate, but kicked it right on the stick of McKinnon, but able to force a turnover to the backhand. Couldn't get the shot through. Donovan ahead. Play through the middle. Jury, good play, using his feet as he lost his stick. Donovan will work her way down and rim it around the wall. Jury still without a stick. Just try to pin it to the wall. Kept in momentarily now as the Bulldogs fighting for possession. Armstrong will keep it in. Turner trying to find it. Cox will flip it to the blue line, but not out. That'll give Jury enough time to go grab his stick and get back in the play. Turner, back point. Armstrong trying to fire one through traffic. It was blocked. He gets the puck back here. Now back the other way. Cox, 2-on-1. Cox drives wide. Good stick from McKinnon. Able to knock it to the corner as Hunter O'Coin's there to follow up. Coin out front. Cox trying to find it. Couldn't. Comes out to the line. Here was O'Coin as well. Damien O'Coin had pinched up off the point. Puck comes loose. Here's Damien O'Coin working behind the goal. Nice moves. Tries to wrap it around. Trying to get Van Oorschot moving both ways. Cowles back down low to O'Coin. Armstrong. Up ahead. Up to head now, back the other way with a step is Turner. Turner in, shoot, save made by Hanna. And it pops back to him and he'll cover up. Excellent work by Lincoln Hanna. He's able to stay with it. Off the draw, O'Coin gets it. Defender lost an edge. Now back the other way, Damien O'Coin. Put it too far ahead of himself, but he stays with it, has the puck now. Tries to work it out front, couldn't. Brown. Turned over, Linkletter right in front. Linkletter shoots, put it wide. He was all alone in front of the goal. Right to the point, Card from well out. That shot deflected. Save made by Van Oorschot. Card will pinch it off the point to keep it in. Scott. Back to Collins. Ready to go back. It's picked off, but offside on the play. Face off just outside the Ramblers zone. Kazik. Take it in, drops it off for Dort. She has some room. Will fire one from well out, but Hannah makes the save. Face off to the right of Hannah. Dort will have to come in to take the draw. Face off one by Clark of the Ramblers. Up the wall, Lafort. Keep it in, try to rim it down low, right on the stick of LeBlanc. Flipped ahead. Cleary will be first on it. Passed over for Dort. Turn back over, Clark into the middle, looking for a shooting lane. Drives wide, Clark still with it. Clark shoots, glove saved by Van Oorschot. Face off to the left of Rennie Van Oorschot. Tipped back to the point, but turned over and chipped out by Anna Ganesh. Davis will be first on it. So peel around his net, but being watched by Dunlap. Gets it behind the goal. LeBlanc up the wall for Payne. Armstrong will pinch up, but Payne able to beat him. Back the other way, Jace Payne. Donovan chasing. Donovan leans on Payne, takes away the angle as Payne will spin back. It's turned over now, Donovan. Chip. Nice move to the middle to stay with it. She'll chip it up the wall. Dunlap will give chase, but Jury first on it. He'll cut to the middle. Jury. Long pass ahead. Good stick from Armstrong to pick that off. And he'll spin back. Pass it off. Long pass ahead for Turner. Dropped it off. Brown will wind and fire. Save made by Hannah. Face-off will stay inside the Cumberland zone. Off the draw, Cox wins it. Jury up the wall, McManaman. Had it knocked away from him by Delory, but it's chipped back ahead. McManaman has some room on that right side. Has Cowles going on that. McManaman in front for Cowles. He was hung up by McDonald. Cox down low, missed the stick of McManaman. Jury will pinch in. Flipped around in front of the Zamboni door. Chipped away, but turned over. Cox down low, McManaman. Tries to wrap it around, lost the handle on it, but he gets it back. McManaman spins and fires. Save made by Van Oorschot. She stuck out the leg. Cowles sends it towards the goal. Makes its way to the opposite side of the ice. Cox weaves in. Cox out in front for Cowles. Saved by Van Oorschot. It's just cleared down the ice by the Bulldogs. Will be an icing call. 8:58 left in the second. Both goaltenders playing well. Still scoreless here in Truro. Back to the point, Collins. Tries to go for the D-to-D pass, but it's picked off. Back the other way, Patrick McIsaac has a break. McIsaac in alone. Shoots, missed the net. Amherst gets it out momentarily. Lafort will work it back in. Pass it across. McIsaac. Down low, will center it, but right on the stick of it. Cumberland's Collins. Chipped ahead for Damien O'Coin. Passed off. Cleary, good pass through the middle. Lafort drives wide. Has a pair with him. Lafort lost in his skates, a little pirouette. But it's turned back over. Scott. Pass it for O'Coin. As they work together down low to take the puck. It's rimmed around. Dort has some room. Passed ahead. Knocked out as Collins collides with McIsaac. LeBlanc will pick up in his own end. McKinnon. D-to-D pass to Armstrong. Good pass through the middle. Lafort has a player with him. Passed it off, but it was just off the skate of Turner. Long pass ahead. Good take by Scopey, but an even better strip there by Armstrong. He'll reverse it behind the net for McKinnon. Up the wall, Turner. To the middle for Lafort. Lafort turned it over. LeBlanc trying to work his way. And Cohen LeBlanc in. Shoots. Glove save by Van Oorschot. Face off to the left of Van Oorschot. Won by the Bulldogs. McKinnon behind that to Armstrong. Chipped up ahead. Dunlap. Turned over. Scopey. Stick lifted by Turner. Good play. Turner tries to go up the wall, but it's turned over. Clark. Try to weave in. Clark still battling for position. He's able to pull it free, but it's taken away from him momentarily as he battles with Armstrong. Armstrong behind the net up the wall. Turner. First on it. Turn back over. Amherst in. Shot. Saved by Van Oorschot. Armstrong up ahead trying to tip it by Payne. Couldn't. Payne will get it back in deep. Bulldogs hemmed in here. I bet Dunlop heads up. Right into the Rambler bench. Coach just had to jump out of the way of that one. Dunlap goes right over and apologizes to the bench. The face-off will stay inside the Antigonish end. Shot wide of the goal. Wilmot couldn't clear. McManaman lost it to Wilmot as they continue to battle on the far side. Jury pins Carter to the wall. Shot from well out. Save made by Van Oorschot. Cox ripped it from well out. Sent up the wall. Hit the Zamboni door. Flipped out by the Bulldogs. Carter will give chase. As does Brown. Brown into the middle. Shot from Carr. Good save by Hanna. He stuck the pad out. Ahead, McDonald keeps it in momentarily. Stays with it, but Cox gets it ahead to McManaman. Long pass over to Cowles. Cowles over the line. Tried to shoot, but it was blocked by Delory. Up the wall. Jury will keep it in. Fires it from well out. That goes wide of the mark. It's Hunter O'Coin in off the point, fan on his shooting attempt. Carr will rim it around. Jury pinches in. It's knocked away from him, but a good support by Cox as he covered Jury at the point. He's able to keep it in. McManaman weaves in into the middle. Cox settles it down, shoots and scores! Braden Cox opens the scoring with 5 minutes left here in period number 2. Some great work by McManaman to get out of the corner. He put it right on the stick of Cox, who fired just under the trapper of Van Oorschot. The Ramblers take the lead in this very even contest so far. Off the draw. Ramblers get it back. O'Coin in, but offside on the play. Scott comes in for the draw. Tipped ahead by the Bulldogs. They get it out to center. Front of the penalty box. Chopped in by the Ramblers. Pass to Cleary. Head Dort. Went through her, and Collins will pick it up. Tries to spin off Dort. Dort tries to stay with him. Collins will send it rink wide for Damien O'Coin, but he's met. Ramblers holding him momentarily. It's chipped out. 2-on-1 back the other way. McIsaac going to drive wide. Patrick McIsaac, another break. He's in. This time, save made by Hanna. Oh, Patrick McIsaac can't buy one right now. Lincoln Hanna, another big save as the shot's all even at 12 right now. Both goalies have been really good so far. Hanna just that one goal better right now. Back the other way. Payne has a step. Jace Payne and has Scopey going that. Payne shoots and scores! Jace Payne makes it 2-0 for the Ramblers. And it's funny, one chance, a good chance at one end always comes back for a goal at the other. That's always how it goes. It was Patrick McIsaac last shift with a big breakaway opportunity that Hanna stopped. And then Jace Payne back the other way. The following shift is able to make it 2-0 for the Ramblers. The Rambler bench feeling it now. Up 2-0. Pushed ahead. Swatted out by the Ramblers. Clark. Chip back ahead in front of the Rambler bench. Davis. Battles for it as does Payne. Payne gets it into the English zone. 3.5 minutes left here in period number 2. LeBlanc just able to keep it in. Good hold by Cohen LeBlanc. Sent up the wall. Ramblers keep it in. As Clark will flip it down. Swatted down by Wilmot and up ahead to Carr. Carr in over the line. His shot blocked by LeBlanc. Pinballed in on Hanna. He's able to steer it to the corner. Bulldogs keep it in. LeBlanc flips it way up down the ice. Payne trying to chase after it. Payne keeps going, looking for another one. He was knocked off stride. Here comes the Bulldogs. Through center, nice play. Dunlap. Driving wide as Finbow got back to his position after getting the line. It's sent out by the Ramblers. Cleary spins it back up the wall. Ramblers will be forced to tag up, sent through the middle. Dunlop and over the line, leaves it for Turner. Turner back to Dunlap. Back to point. Finbow shot through traffic, just missed. Kept in by Antigonish. Donovan had her stick lifted by Hunter O'Coin. Now McManaman will pick up with under 2 to play here in the second. McManaman inside, had it knocked away from him by Cleary. McManaman weaves to the middle, tried to hand it off for Cox, kind of like how they scored the first one. Cal, sharp angle, that hits his skate, goes wide of the goal. Cox down low, McManaman. Try to weave his way out, puck's there. Puck's still loose there in the slot. Jury trying to find it. Spins, fires, it's blocked. Back the other way with numbers, Antigonish. Turner has a step. Turner in, shoots off the crossbar. He elevated that one, and you could hear it just catch a piece of the crossbar. We're now in the last minute of period number 2. Armstrong. Pass ahead, Dort chips it down into the Rambler zone. Excuse me. Clearing attempt. Gets out. Armstrong. Peel back into his own zone. Passes it off. Pass ahead. Didn't have enough on it. It was a delayed offside. So we'll get a whistle here. 35 seconds left in the second. The Ramblers with a 2-0 lead. Goals from Jace Payne and Braden Cox. Face-off will come just outside the Antigonish end. Won by the Bulldogs. Pass through the middle. Player lost an edge, and now here's Damien O'Coin down the wing. Armstrong stays with him. He's been stellar defensively for the Bulldogs. He gets it ahead to McIsaac. Trying to find it in his skates. So we come to the last 10 seconds of the period. It's dumped in deep. McKinnon will take a look behind him. Go up the wall. McIsaac battles with his man, and that should pretty much do it here for period number 2. The Ramblers get 2 in the second period and lead this game by a score of 2-0. Shots are 13-13. It's been quite an even game. Through 30 minutes here, we'll step aside for the Flood. Be back here in about 10-15 minutes. A score after 2 periods of play. The Cumberland Ramblers lead the Antigonish Bulldogs 2-0. Just about ready to go here for the final period in our second matchup of the day between Antigonish and Cumberland County. After a scoreless first, Amherst got goals from Jace Payne and Braden Cox in the second and lead 2-0 here going into this final frame. Shots were dead even at 13 through 2 periods as we're now underway. Patrick McIsaac back to LaForte. LaForte's shot goes wide. McIsaac will chase after it. Can argue he's been the most dangerous Bulldog here today as the shot comes in from the point. Hannah will cover up. Couple of breakaway opportunities from McIsaac that he just is unable to cash in on. Hannah able to make the save there from the point shot. Off the draw, Cox flip it up. McManaman will give chase. Icing will be waved off. Spins it in front, looking for Cowles. Good stick from Armstrong. Another excellent defensive play. Ahead, Dort. Nice play. The poke it past one. O'Coin lost the glove as Dort drives wide and should get it in deep. McIsaac out front, picked off by McManaman. Pass it to Cox. Cox to the middle, but he lost it. It's Wilmot. Send it ahead. Chip back in by the Ramblers. So they battle for it on that near side. Jury will flip it way up in the air. McManaman caught him. Poked in. Puck's there. Van Oerschaut able to spin it out of harm's way. Cleared away by Antigonish. Jury first on it for the Ramblers as Antigonish finishes up a change. Jury will skate it out through the middle. Backhands it ahead to Scott. Scott in, shoots, saved by Van Oerschaut. That's a couple times she's thrown the glove out quickly tonight, this morning. Scott wins that draw. Back to the point, but it's turned over. Wilmot pass it up ahead. Carr's going to give chase as it rolls in on Hannah. Heads up. He flew head over heels over Hannah. So he was chasing after that puck. Hannah able to cover up and stay with it. So get a pat from his teammates. He's been excellent in this game. 13:03 to go. Brown comes in to take the draw against Scott. To the right of Hannah. Scott will be thrown out of the dot. Linkletter will have to come in. Comes back to the point, Delory. Pinches off the line, runs over his man, and a penalty coming to Delory. Coin's gonna go too. So we'll stay even here. Face-off will stay deep in the Antigonish end. Okay, I think it was a kid. They got the wrong guy. The card's going to go over. O'Coin was adamant that he hadn't done anything, as he and Card were both over there in the play. So O'Coin comes off, Card will go in. We'll stay 5 aside. It's going to be 4-on-4, I think. Yes, it is. It's a face-off. We'll come down in the Rambler end. It's all sorted out. Good point. Finbo able to keep it in. Kaiser could pass through his legs. Lafort trying to weave past one. Stay with it, but he couldn't. Here's Payne. He has the 2-0 goal. Cleary. Up the wall for Lafort. Lafort to the middle. Clark's there to pick it off. He'll fire it back down deep. Chipped up ahead. LeBlanc couldn't keep it in, so Ramblers will have to tag up. Finbo. Up ahead for Lafort. Comes back out. Cleary will pinch in and pass it off. Gets a return pass. Now up ahead to Lafort. He'll dump it in and go off on a change. 1 minute left in the penalties. The point kept in by McKinnon momentarily. Stays with it. Is able to keep it in. McKinnon fires a shot. Save made by Hanna. .50 seconds left in the coincidental penalties. Jury gets it for the Ramblers off the draw. We'll spin it behind the net. Hunter O'Coin will get it out himself. Flips it ahead to McManaman. Icing will be called. The draw. Armstrong pinches in off the point. Dunlap's there to cover him. Picked up by Jury. Jury fires a long pass ahead to McManaman. As he works in. Nice move. Got in on goal, but Van Oorschot was able to kick it aside. Back to the point. O'Coin. That's blocked, and now Dunlap has a break back the other way. Malcolm Dunlap all alone on Hanna in to the forehand. Scores! Malcolm Dunlap. As the penalties expire, he brings the Bulldogs back within 1. Someone finally gets one past Hanna. Just able to outweight the goaltender as he went down. Just put it between his pad and the post. Back to 5-on-5 now. Delory ahead. Turner will flip it in. LeBlanc there to meet him. Chipped ahead. Delory will fire it back deep. Davis ahead to Linkletter. Lost it. Turner floats it down low. Dunlap in front. That's deflected, and Hanna able to cover up as LeBlanc. Deflected it in, but Hanna stayed with it. So he was just trying to direct it aside. Face-off will stay inside the Ramblers' end as Antigonish continues to press. Donovan spins and fires that one wide of the goal. Linkletter first on it for the Ramblers. Linkletter up the wall. It's kept in by Delory. Delory will skate, fires a hard shot on the glove side. Just missed. And Wilmot will pinch in. His shot, that's deflected. Rebounds there. Kept out. Puck still loose. Hannah finally able to cover up. He's finally able to find that as the Bulldogs putting some pressure on. Under 10 minutes to play here in this game. Clark comes in to take the draw against Brown. Turner finds a sharp angle shot, saved by Hannah. Jury will try to go up the wall. It's turned over. Carr down low to Brown. Floats it to the middle. Puck gets through. It was there for McDonald, but he couldn't pull the trigger. Payne will rim it all the way around. To the near side, Jury. First on it. They battle for it down low. Clark ahead. Weaves his way out, gets it out to center. Finbow. Head to Brown. Brown trying to chip it ahead. He's met by a pair of Ramblers, but it's swatted right back in by Antigonish. Payne will just get it out of harm's way. Cleary will pick it up for Antigonish. Pass it to Armstrong. Armstrong for McIsaac. Tipped it. Jury will fire it ahead. That hits Scopey. Lafort will try to work it ahead. Picked up now by Armstrong. To Cleary. Ahead. McIsaac. Trying to pass it through the middle. Dort finds it. But lost it. And now O'Coin back the other way. This is Hunter. They'll try to drive wide on Armstrong. Hunter O'Coin. In. Shot blocked by Cleary. McManaman. Up the wall. Picked up by Cox. He'll flip it back down low. To McManaman. Out front for Cox, but picked off by Armstrong. There's Armstrong. Gets it in deep. Dort down low. Overskated it. Now Reed will just throw it to the opposite side. Lafort will be first on it. Spins it towards the middle. Hit a couple bodies and came out. Sent ahead but picked off. Flipped in by Collins. 7.5 minutes left to go. Turner trying to tip it to the middle. Good pinch by Collins. McKinnon. Head. Flipped again, but that hit the stanchion. It's kept in. McManaman. Pass it across. Nice pass to Cox. Cox shoots off the bar. A nice passing play there from the Ramblers. McManaman to Cowles to Cox, and Cox ripped one right off the crossbar, nearly restored the 2-goal lead for the Ramblers. Rimmed all the way around. Dunlap will give chase, and he might win the race. He does. Centering pass, but right on the stick of Linkletter. He'll deflect it to the side and now skate up ice with it. Put it too far ahead of himself. Dunlap gets it back. We'll send it back deep. Turned over, sent out in front. Shot comes in high and missed. And Dunlap picks it back up. Pass to Turner. He fires one towards the goal. And Hannah able to cover up. Face-off stays deep in the Rambler zone. It's where it spent a lot of the time here in this third period. They're able to get one back, but still need one more. Sent down low, LeBlanc. Rattles down low, pulled free by Carr. Carr out in front. McDonald's there. McDonald bangs away at it. Couldn't get it on net. Back the other way, Clark. Clark drives wide, drops his shoulder. Clark, wrap around attempt, missed. Brown will try to flip it ahead. Scopey will fire it deep. Finbow. Waits, fan on the initial pass, but gets it to McIsaac. McIsaac looking for an opening. So he's going to continue to give chase and force a turnover, and he'll get it down deep. As his line gets on the ice, and Dort will race after it to meet Jury. 5.5 minutes left in this one. Sent up the wall. Armstrong couldn't keep it in. Cox with numbers back the other way. Cox in. Shot. Missed its mark. Poked ahead, and McIsaac back the other way. 2-on-1 with Dort. McIsaac waits, shoots, but he put it high. Up ahead. Now McManaman has a step. McManaman in alone to the backhand. It stays out. Back and forth we go. .4:57 to go in this game. Ramblers with a 2-1 lead. Scott heels back to the middle. Shoots. Saved by Van Oorschot. Rebound was there, but cleared away. Kept in by Collins, and he'll float it back down low. Delory. Up the wall, but Card with a good pinch. Ahead, here's Turner. Turner chipped it ahead. He'll give chase. Dropped it off. Tried to drop it for Donovan, but it was over-skated. They get it back. Turner has room. Turner shoots. Good block by Linkletter. It hit his stick. Dunlap tried to center it. Hanna deflected it wide. Kept in by Antigonish. Dunlap. Burgess down. Trying to center it. Stays with it. Out in front. Looking for Donovan. Another chance. Cleared away by Collins. Another good defensive play by the Ramblers. 4 minutes to go. Clear to the line. Kept in by Turner. Dunlap trying to find it as it continues to roll. Wilmot will step in from the line. Fire one. Kicked away by Hanna. The penalty is upcoming. And it's going to go against Card as he slashed his man. Antigonish is going to go to the power play. With 3:38 to go. And trailing by 1. Up the wall, kept in by McKinnon. Try to drive wide. Clark, good play to stay with him. Take it away, and he'll clear it down the ice. Goes into the bench. Face-off will come back just outside the Rambler end. McKinnon, and over the line, drops it off to McIsaac. McIsaac fires one up in the air, hits a stick, puck still there. Cleared to the side. Payne couldn't clear. McIsaac trying to move it back, but Davis able to knock it away. Kinnan wheels behind his net. Will fire it up the wall. McIsaac to Armstrong. Peels back into his own end. A minute left in the penalty. Busted ahead, picked off by Davis, and he'll clear and head to the bench. Behind the net, sent ahead, McIsaac. Up to Dort, trying to fight it through the middle. Cleared away, Cowles will fire it down the ice. Up to McIsaac, he'll tip it through the middle to Lafort. Driving wide, Lafort. Sent down deep, O'Coin. Penalty coming again to Amherst. It'll be 5-on-3 for 24 seconds. Timeout will be called by Antigonish. 2:02 left. Shots 23-17 in favor of Antigonish. They'll be on a power play for the rest of this game, barring a goal after 24 seconds. We'll be back here at 3 o'clock as Truro will take on this Cumberland Rambler team. Then Pictou will play Antigonish right after to conclude day one. We'll be back for 2 more games early tomorrow before the final at 4. Thanks for tuning in on High Button Sports. Catch all the action on highbuttonsports.ca or the High Button Sports YouTube channel. Here we go. Van Oerschaut remains in net for the time being. 24 seconds left in the initial penalty. 24 seconds of 5-on-3. Cox will fire it down the ice. Van Oerschaut plays it to Delory. Passed it up ahead. Dunlap will touch it off for Turner. In over the line. Turner drops it. Pass back. Wilmot at the point. Fired it, but it's blocked by Cox. Now back the other way, short-handed breakaway. Braden Cox, all alone. Cox in, shoots, save by Van Oerschaut. Another glove save made by the Antigonish goalie. And she saves the game for the Bulldogs. First penalty is over. Still a minute 29 of power play time. Rimmed around the wall. Turner first on it. Into the zone. Turner peels back. Cox will fire it down the ice and scores! It went in. Cox fired it the length of the ice. Van Oerschaut was ready to come out. She was in no man's land. She tried to get back, but couldn't get there in time. The Ramblers take a 3-1 lead. Cox is second of the game. Excuse me. And a huge insurance goal. Here come the Bulldogs. Cleared away by Jury. Skated out, Dort. Passed up to McIsaac. McIsaac over the line. His shot was blocked. Final 30 seconds. Cleared away by the Ramblers. McKinnon over to Armstrong. One last rush up the ice for the Bulldogs. Chip it by and give chase. Clark will be first on it. He's just going to try to pin it to the corner. His time will expire. And the Ramblers win by a score of 3-1. And we'll move to 1-0. That'll do it for our broadcast. We'll be back later this afternoon for the final two games of day number 1. Final score here from the Rec, Game 2 of the Northern Conference playoffs. Cumberland County Ramblers defeat the Antigonish